Good afternoon, everyone. Today we are going to learn about microorganism chapter of 8th standard. This is the second part of this video. If you want to watch first part of this video, you can also watch on my channel. In this video, we are going to learn about protozoa and algae. So let's start with protozoa. What are protozoa? Protozoa are more related with animals as they show the characteristics of animal cells, and also they in some protozoa they show the characteristics of plant cell, means they also can perform photosynthesis because they have chlorophyll in them, but still they have lack of cell wall, and these protozoa are thought to be first evolved group of microorganisms to have well developed nucleus and other organelles inside the cell, and there are till now 50,000 species of protozoa identified or discovered. This protozoa shows the characteristics of the first group of organisms. We are discussing about the groups of microorganisms in which protozoa comes, and it shows the characteristics of the group of organisms, means whole organisms which were classified by R.H. Whitaker of Monera, the first kingdom Monera, and also it shows some characteristics of multicellular organisms. This habitat of protozoa is the freshwater as well as the marine water, means it can be found in the water bodies like ponds, lakes, as well as in oceans, seas, means in the marine water means salty water bodies also, and also these are found in the soil. And some parasitic protozoa are found inside the body of host or living organism and also on the body of host or organism, means if this is the host, then this protozoa can be on the body and also inside the body. And this protozoa was discovered by Antony van Leeuwenhoek. He found it inside in his stools, means that time the protozoa was inside his body, and when the stools were thrown out, that time he observed it under the microscope, his personal microscope, and that time he found this term protozoa. Then the reproduction of protozoa. These protozoa are generally reproduced by asexual methods like binary fission, spore formation, and also by budding. And sometimes some protozoa reproduce by sexual method. In that, generally the exchange of nucleus happens. Then the shape of protozoa. There are wide variety of shapes and size of protozoa. They may be irregular shaped, and for your information, pleomorphic cells. These are the cells which have irregular shape and size, means if first you will see under microscope, it will look to you like this, and if you will see it after some time, then it could be of any shape. And means these pleomorphic cells can change their shape even on every second, means if first you will see like this, after 5 seconds it will be like this, it will change its shape. Example is amoeba. Amoeba doesn't have any definite shape or size. And then they also has nucleus and other organelles are also present in them, but cell wall is absent. If cell wall and chloroplast are absent in some protozoans, and in some chloroplast is present, but cell wall is absent. And for the locomotion, means for moving from distance, this protozoa have cilia or flagella, means this is the tail like structure. We have also seen it in the bacteria. This is the tail like structure which helps the protozoa for the locomotion. Then the nutrition, as we saw that some protozoa can't make their own food by their own, so they could be parasitic, saprophytic, or also they can be holozoic, means they will consume all the food at one time as a one bite, like us. And the example of holozoic is amoeba. We can see that it opens its pseudopodia and engulfs its food when it is near the food particle, and then catches it. Then we will see the advantages of protozoa. And also sometimes this protozoa forms a symbiotic relationship with other organisms in the nature, so these protozoa are helpful to other organisms. These protozoa are helpful to other organisms. Then the second advantage of protozoa is the students who are learning the important structures of cell or cell functions, then these protozoa cells are used for their understanding. Means this helps the students of medical field to understand medical or chemistry field, to understand the structure of cell and also the functions of cell. Then now we will discuss about disadvantages. Then the disadvantages are some protozoa are parasitic in nature, means they live inside the body or outside the body, and also can cause some diseases, like a protozoa lives in the bloodstream of a host and also causes the sleeping sickness. And some lives in the mouth cavity of humans and can cause various infections to humans. Means in the disadvantages, protozoa only causes the diseases to the host. Now the next group of microorganisms, fourth group of microorganisms, is algae. It is very different from other organisms, as this term algae refers to the plant-like organisms that have cell wall and chlorophyll within the cells. Means these cells of algae, as some protozoa have chlorophyll, these also have the chlorophyll pigment in them, but also these have cell wall. Means this looks like a completely plant cell because it also has the cell wall and also chlorophyll. Also the chlorophyll. And this then the habitat of algae. This algae can be found on the moist surfaces, like in the rainy season on our walls or the compound walls. We can see the greenish structure. This is nothing but the algae. This algae are also available in different colors like green, red, brown, yellow, pink, etc. Because of the presence of pigment like chlorophyll, if it is present in the algae, then it is of green color. If the other pigments like carotene or any more are present in it, it will look like a red color as per that pigment present in it. Then the shape and size. Some of the algae are unicellular and microscopic, while some are multicellular and quite big. Means not that much big like our finger, but it could be somewhat small. The sizes vary from 1 micron to 50 meters. Means the algae can be of 1 micron, also it can be of 1 meter, till the 50 meters this algae size can extend. Also on the ponds you can see the algae. Then the reproduction. The reproduction of algae takes by both sexual and asexual method. In the asexual method, they reproduce by fragmentation, fission, and spore formation. In fragmentation, the cells of the body separate into fragments. Means, if you will take the example of Spirogyra, and if it is the body of Spirogyra, assume that it is the body of Spirogyra, then it will break into many fragments. Here I had shown the 4 fragments. It can break into 2 fragments, also in the 4 fragments, 5 fragments. Depends on its size. Means this is the parent cell, and these all are fragments. These all are the fragments. Now we will discuss about the advantages and disadvantages of algae. Advantages. As we said first that it contains chlorophyll, means it can also perform the photosynthesis, and if it will be grown on the ponds or seas, ponds or lakes, then we know that the byproducts of photosynthesis are glucose and the oxygen. Means it will enrich the water with oxygen, because of which the underground or underwater organisms can respire easily. Then they are the rich source of sodium, magnesium, sodium and potassium and iodine. These 3 elements are present in rich amount in the algae, and this algae like seaweed are also consumed in some countries like China and Japan. In some countries like China and Japan, the seaweed is the name of algae which is consumed in China and Japan. Then this algae are also used in medical field. This the last use of this algae is these algae are also used in medical field for making medicines. The red and brown algae are used in medical field for making various medicines. Now we will discuss about some disadvantages of algae. disadvantages of algae. So, if there is the rapid growth of algae, this rapid growth of algae on the ponds or any water bodies is known as algae bloom. If the algae will grow in the much amount and it will cover all the area, then there will not be this rich sunlight, and because of that there will be the death of some organisms, and also the organisms which needs to come on the surface of sometimes needs to come on the surface of water for taking the natural oxygen from the air. So they will also die because of the rapid growth or the algae bloom. Then the second is, if this algae bloom happened, it will also during when this algae is alive, it will enrich the water with soil, oxygen. But what after this algae dies? We know that every organism has its own lifespan. After this lifespan overs of algae, then after the death of the algae, it will not be able to do the photosynthesis, and at that time when it dies, it will remain on the surface of pond or water body, and the oxygen molecules will not enter into the water bodies, and this will make this water body infertile with the oxygen, and there will be the death of many underground creatures, underwater creatures. Then after the death of algae, it also produces some poisons or toxins, so that the fresh water which was able to drink or in use will not be able to drink or in use of the human beings. So in this video we learnt about the advantages and disadvantages of algae and protozoa, and also we learnt about algae and protozoa. In the next video we will learn about viruses. Thank you.